Okay, let's get back into this. So, today we'll talk about Group 2 of ESL Pro League Season 13. Well, in the forums, I've heard it be called the Group of Death, and I can see that it is more competitive than other groups. Like, for example, I feel like Big Heroic Complexity, yeah, their favorites. Navi, Furia, Gambit, obvious favorites. Then VP, Liquid Astralis, I guess, yeah, I guess. EG, they just had a roster change. They lost Ethan. Yeah. So this one's a little bit more indecisive. And it honestly comes down to one thing: how well does G2 play? And because G2's form is kind of shaky, I feel like personally, Vitality, FaZe, and G2 should make it through. But if G2 play like trash, then they're not going to get through. So let's start from the top. Let's start with Vitality. Okay, we got Apex, Masuda, RPK, Shock, Zaiwu, and we also have Navera, who's not here, but he's been playing on the team. And let's check their ranking. So they just dropped by 2. They are currently 5th place, whatever that means, because I feel like Astralis right now is not number 1, but it's just the algorithm, so who cares? Let's talk about Vitality. So Vitality, they got Apex back. He was gone for, I guess, like a week for whatever personal issues. I feel like there's something that probably was going on in his family that they get resolved, and that was like leading to his attitude. But he's back. I don't know how much of a component Apex really is as an IGO. I feel like their coach, I don't know how to say his name. Existence. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I feel like their coach does a lot of the in-game IGLing, and like they have a really good support team. So I don't think Apex is a vital part. But then again, I don't know what happens behind the scene. I don't know what he's doing. And obviously, they've been playing well in the latter half of 2020. This year, not so well, but it's fine. So, starting off the year, they came third place in Blast Finals. Hold on, let me pull out that tournament. If we go to events, finished, yeah, that's always the spring groups. Where is the global final? Oh, January, of course. Alright, here we are. So yeah, they came third place. They lost to Astralis and Navi. Astralis, it was a close affair until the last map, Inferno, and then for Navi, it was just close overall. But they edged out, and I think after Blast um, finals, that's where they had the downfall. Okay, then what else happened? Oh, and I also heard something about the Blast finals. Some people making the argument that they were shook after the Liquid game. Reason being because they had that whole stream sniping drama going on. Personally, I feel like they wouldn't really care. I feel like it was like a very small incident. I don't think they were actually like cheating or getting any information off. I think it was an honest mistake. And I don't feel like that would like even the hate that they got for it, I don't think that would really impact them. So I think that's just BS. That argument. Okay. Next thing, they were last in their Blast Spring groups. So if we go up here in the Spring groups, they lost to Complexity, which was a big upset, especially on the overpass. Zaibu's lowest ever rating on that map. I think he went like 2 and something, and then it lost to EG. So yeah, they played pretty bad, and they got dead last in the group. So once again, not a promising thing. And then once they got to Katowice, might as well pull this one up as well. Katowice, where is Vitality? So Vitality, they beat OG. I don't know if that's really saying much. OG is not on the same like tier or level as them. Personally, that's what I feel. and then they played against Liquid, got beaten by Liquid. It was pretty close. It wasn't like a blowout. And then when they got to the lower bracket, they got beaten by VP, and it was also close. So it wasn't like they got destroyed, and especially considering how deep VP made and how deep. Well, Liquid didn't make it too deep, but they were still in the semifinals. I consider it acceptable. I wouldn't say it's too concerning. But I think they are currently in their worst form they've been in a while. And I feel like they're definitely heading downwards unless they turn up during ESL Pro League. Um, I don't know. I had a question. I don't know if they're gonna be boot camping for Pro League. I would assume that they do, but I don't know for that for a fact. I feel like that boot camping environment really helped them out. I don't know that there are crew of people in the background, but I feel like they were playing well, and then that really helps them out. So another thing concerned that I had attitude and how players have cooled off a bit. So attitude, of course, Apex is the first person that comes to mind. Well, you have players like Zywu and RPK that just have like stone face the whole time. They don't care what's happening, and they're very good at like being very composed and have good behavior. But then you have people like Shocks, Apex, and I guess Navera and Masuda are most in like the middle, but definitely Shocks and Apex. They have a lot of when stuff is going bad, they have like a lot of negative energy off of them. I feel like that the boot camping environment would definitely help them with that, but it is what it is. And players have to have cooled off. Navera especially. I don't know the exact stats, but just from like the eye test, the matches I've seen, he's been playing a lot worse, which could be concerning if you're a Vitality fan. But you never know. Maybe that player break was more detrimental to him than other players. You don't know. He's new, still a rookie. And then yeah. So final notes about Vitality: they should be able to have a deep run. Just looking at this group, they should get past group stages. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Next team up, G2. The team that makes no sense. The reason why it makes no sense because they have good parts, yet they don't perform. Not to like they're not winning matches. Not to like diss on them. You have I like to call that the Nico effect. Basically, Nico joins a team. It's supposedly supposed to make them better, but like there's no like a real improvement. And I don't know why that's the case. Um, it could just be like social dynamics. It could be roles, the role mess up because Nico wants all the good roles. I feel like if you have a player like Nico, you're doing it injustice by not giving him all the good roles. But then you can't have other players underperforming. Um, the next thing I've seen a lot about replacing Kenyas. So if Kenyas doesn't play well this tournament, I guess there is an argument to be made. Like, okay, you probably just spent a couple of $1 million on Nico. Why don't you replace Kenny S? And I'm pretty sure Kenny S is probably taking a big paycheck just because of his name and stature. But I take a step back and I look at, oh, who are you gonna add to the team? You need someone that speaks English, so that takes away like all the like I don't know smaller players, CS players especially. So you can't do that. American players, I don't know who you're gonna get. American scene right now, there's not a lot of players. So let's think about like international players. The first player that came to mind was Guardian, which I guess you can give a shot, but I don't feel like Guardian will be a huge improvement over Kenyas. Another player I thought about was KNG, but I think he's probably gonna stay with his Brazilian boys, and also I don't think he's a huge improvement over Kenyas. I don't know even know if he speaks English, but I think he probably does. And then the final player, Chris J. Yeah, Kenyas is probably better. So I don't know. Maybe I'm like missing somebody, but I don't think there is currently a good pool of operas to choose from. Instead, I'll just work with the pieces that you have. And then if you go to the performances in IEM Katowice, the players that they lost to, I would consider them acceptable opponents to lose to. So they lost to Spirit. in a close fashion. So 14-16 train that could have gone either way. The Mirage they won, then Inferno they kind of got a little bit more destroyed, but it wasn't like too one-sided. And again, you see Kenny is at the bottom. I don't think he replaced Hunter. Not Hunter. Amanek. I mean, Amanek. He has all the trash rolls. He has the entry. He drops all the weapons, and he's performing well. So yeah. So Spirit, and considering Spirit went to the semis, it's acceptable loss. Yeah, as bad that sounds for a team with like Nico and Hunter and Kenny S. But and then they lost to Gambit, who were the winners. So that too was, I would say, relatively close. They didn't get like blown out, but they put up a fight. And again, Kenny S actually played well. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't need. I don't know who you're gonna replace Kenny S with, but I can see changes being made because if you're gonna drop a couple of $1 million on Nico, which I'm sure they did, I don't know who you're replacing. I don't even know if you have the budget to replace anybody. Especially, you're not gonna be buying out someone from the team. Like it's not like you can like pick up Searson because the buy is probably too high. But yeah, um, overall, they're the team that I'm most concerned about in this group. I feel like if they don't play well, they can easily get upset by Nip and Mouse Sports. So I think that's what makes it a group of death, basically, because I think FaZe and Vitality are pretty safe. Then Mouseboard and Nip and G2 can be competing for the last spot. It depends how, if G2 plays well, then I think FaZe, G2, Vitality are just secured at top. But if they don't, then I think Nip and Mouseboard have a chance. Speaking of Mouseboard, let's go over here. So obviously we know Mouseboard got a new IGL, Dexter, and yeah, there's not really much more to note. Rops has been playing out of his mind. I watched the Mouseboard complexity game. Heartbreaking loss, but Rops was playing insane, especially with the op. Acor, he's been doing well. Um, BMAS, Frozen, when he's on, he plays really well. When he's off, he's kind of a hindrance, but he's a young player. This is a young team. I feel like they had a chance. I think they have a chance to play well, and maybe Dexter can come up with some strats, because in Katowice, that's like right when he joined. And I think they got really hard opponents. Yeah, so they played against Astralis, they kind of got destroyed, and then they played against Gambit, aka the team that won the whole thing. And it's kind of close, but they still got destroyed 2-0. So yeah, I wouldn't write Mouse Sports off, but it's gonna be competitive for Mouse Sports. They have to beat G2 to make it through, and I think Nip is also playing really well. So yeah, next team, FaZe. So FaZe, I think, are very promising. They had a little bit of time to practice with Kerrigan, and I like to call this the Kerrigan effect. Basically, when he joins a team at the start, they play really well, and I feel like that could happen here. I think they can even probably upset Vitality. If Vitality isn't playing well, I think they basically if FaZe is playing at 90% and Vitality are playing at 80%, I think FaZe wins that matchup. So yeah, so Twist and Kerrigan join. They actually had time to work together, and I said they can top this group. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Just like on paper, Vitality versus FaZe. If we just go to the head-to-head, IGL Kerrigan versus Apex. I think Kerrigan's better as IGL. Slide this over. Rain, Masuda. I think Rain's definitely better. Cold Zero, RPK. Yeah, I think Cold Zero is better. Twist versus Shocks. That's more 50-50. I feel like when Shocks plays well, he plays really well. But I think Twist just on paper is better than Brokey, and Zaibu. Obviously, Zaibu's better, but he's been playing as of recent, so you never know. And also, actually, never mind. I thought, never mind. Yeah, Rain, Cold Zero. They bring up the age group, but I thought that they were relatively younger, but they're not really younger. Final team. I don't know, not final team. You have Nip. Nip has been kind of up and down. They played well in the last spring groups. They came second only to, I believe, Complexity. No, that's the wrong group. Never mind. Um, yeah, second to Big. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Second to Big, which is acceptable. They beat Astralis 2-0. And I feel like Astralis, they just have been playing poorly at the start of the year. That's kind of like a consistent thing with them. They start off slow, but throughout the year they get better and better. And I feel like it is probably time for them to step it up. We're 2 months into 2021, so better start stepping up. But I think, yeah, they have potential to upset, especially G2 and Mouse Sports. FaZe, I don't feel like they have a strong enough map pool, Nip. Honestly, let's go to stats. Uh, I don't know. So this is just basically 2 maps played, 2 maps played, 2 maps played, 4 maps played. Dust 2. Yeah, I don't know. I think their best map is definitely Overpass, which they play well on against Astralis, but you never know. Honestly, they shouldn't make it through, but if G2 play like trash, I feel like they can make it through. It's just a toss up between them and Mouse Sports, depending on how G2 play. The final team ends. I'm looking at my notes right now, and I just have a bunch of laughing, like ha 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 ha. Yeah, there's no way Ents make it through this group. First thing first, they recently had a bunch of roster changes. Second thing, they're not even a top 30 team. Um, they're ranked 35 right now. And as someone that is partially Finnish, I feel like it's even hard to be supporting like a Finnish team, especially now that they're Australian, international. I'm saying Australian. And yeah, honestly, I don't feel like Alu is at his prime anymore. Where he can play really well, and I think Dodo, he hasn't proven himself against tier 1 Snappy. Isn't that tier 1 level, and all the other 2 players, yeah, they're not tier 1 levels. I don't feel like they have any chance of making it through. I think you can guarantee them. Just bet against these guys. So just to summarize, Vitality, even if they play 80% where they can play, I think they'll make it through the group. Yeah. G2, they really have to be playing well, unless you want some roster changes to happen. Mouse Sports, they need to be playing well, and I think they can. FaZe, I think like FaZe at like 85% will make it through. Nip, they have to be playing well if they want a chance to get through, and then Ents, yeah, I don't even see Ents at like 110% winning. So yeah, that's pretty much the summary. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree. Leave a like if you like the video and you want more content like this. And yeah, pretty much peace.